Is voting important? How vital is it to the democratic process? Dr Zala Volcic is an expert in this area, and Annalise asked her, why vote?
What is the importance of voting and the political system?
It's crucial, right? For democracy to be effective and efficient and creative, people need to vote. In that way, it means that they accept an identity of being a citizen. And that means having a power to choose and to create their own reality. So voting is an essential ingredient of democratic process.
Do you think we take voting for granted, or do you think we understand the importance of it?
If we just look around the world and compare Australia with other countries, a lot of non-Western world, right, especially, for example, Middle East or parts of Eastern Europe, like Belarus, are still undemocratic authoritarian countries, which basically means that they are ruled and governed by dictators, and where is no democracy and no public sphere, no civil society, people cannot vote, right? So Western democracies, I think citizens many times do take voting and democracy for granted, and we do become in a way passive, right? In a way we become more consumer oriented and not so much interested in politics. Also citizens don't take it in a way serious, right? They become very, in a way, cynical or savvy about political process and don't believe that they can make a change while voting and while going to the polls and express their own opinion. Of course, you know, if you look at the Middle East or parts of North Africa and again Eastern Europe, right, people would die there, and they are dying, you know, for the right to vote and for democracy to rise up, right? So we have a very, I think, paradoxical and contradictory situation today in the world where Western democracies are being quite cynical about democracies, while parts of non-Western worlds are, in a way, you know, people are dying there to have democratic regimes to be established.
Well, we saw in the Arab Spring,
right,
people taking to social media to try and speak out in these, in trying to get democracy. Do you think social media can be used to get young people active in politics?
Yeah, and that's, I think, so wonderful, you know, to see. I think it is especially young people around the world that are taking the tools of social media to return, I would say, to the political spaces and reclaim them. Of course, famous examples of Tunisia and Egypt, right, and now Syria, where especially young people, right, are using internet and especially Facebook, right, to organize and mobilize. And it has been proven, right, to be extremely successful tools, not only in non-Western world. Again, if you look at, at an example of Obama campaign, how Obama campaign used, right, social media and in a way attracted through these media young people.
So do you think that maybe Australian politicians could branch out using social media more, or how do you think they could get Australian youths more active and more excited about the political process?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really is important to bring politics and the importance of politics and again democracy to younger generations and younger people, so that we restart to believe that we do and can make a change, right? That it's up to us, you know, what kind of reality or tomorrow we are going to be building, right? So I think one way definitely it is to make it accessible and approachable, right, and use new media. Another one is, you know, that you do address problems of politics, global politics and national politics, Australian politics. So you do address questions of corruption or detachment or alienation, right, and really start saying, look, we can reclaim the public sphere, us, especially as young people, right? It matters, right?
Yeah.
It's where we can become, and not just become, our, right, citizens.
I'm actually interested, what's your opinion on mandatory voting in Australia? It's not very compulsory voting, it's not very common. What do you think about it?
Yeah, wow. You know, the first time that I came, I was taken as a surprise, you know, because I come from former Yugoslavia. So I grew up, and my parents grew up in a country where there were no elections and no democracy and no public sphere, right? So people couldn't vote. We had a socialist party. You were born with it, right? So to question the authority, yeah, it was not possible. If you did question, you went to prison, right?
Yeah.
So, so here when it's I actually think it is a good positive thing, because it does force, you know, Australians to at least, you know, once per year take a responsibility and become a citizen and express, right, an opinion about political matter that really is an important one. Yeah.
Just in summary, our show is called Why Vote? So why vote?
I think it's it's the most powerful tool in expressing our own views about the world that unfortunately is full of inequalities, and with vote we can change that.